Do you have any questions so far about anything, about lectures, project that we do, and everything? If you have any thought, any idea, any question, if you want anything to be a little different, please share it with me and give some feedback about our class. You can share it in chat part and write your idea about our class and how so far we are doing and how you are doing, how is project that you do. Okay. If we are good, then we can start. It looks everyone is good. No one has any question, any different thought and idea to share. So, okay, it looks we are good. Then let's start our Tuesday lecture. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. Good. Please, everyone, open your Jupyter notebook. And let us start where we just left last week, okay? I'm opening my file. Okay. Let's bring up chat. Okay. I'm putting this chat here, then I can see all your question and whatever you have, okay? Okay, last week, week 3, okay. Last week, we learned almost this flow control, if, else, nested if, else, and for loop, but not while loop. Okay, regarding that part, so last week we didn't have that much time. I tried to quickly, fast explain all of them, like a kind of summary explaining that things to you, okay? We learn if else and what is that, how we can use it. We learn nested if else, we learn for. And also I think I explained for you how to use logical operators and comparison operators in these flow controls as when we are checking our condition, okay? Let's give some example, okay? Let's give some example regarding how to use that logical operators and comparison operators in if else and nested if else, okay? The comparison operators, okay, let's give a comment. We are in week 4, okay? And continue off this flow control that we learned last week. Let's write an example about how to use comparison operators and logical operators inside if else statement, okay? I want to give I want to write if, for example, I have a variable, I call it num, and my num can be anything like 4, okay? I want to check if my number is greater than 0 and less than 10. Okay, how do you write this one? If num is greater than 0, okay? If num is greater than 0 and num is less than 10. We do not forget that colon. Don't forget that colon and then enter, okay? We get indent at the beginning of line, okay? Anytime after this colon, we press enter, we got indent, okay? That indent shows we are inside the if statement. Okay, I want to say, if num greater than 0 and num less than 10, print this is a positive single digit. Okay. And then we learn what that else. If else. How about if it's not a number greater than 0, less than 10? Else, we have this else, colon, and enter print. Print, okay. What we're gonna write? We're gonna write this is either, okay, this is either not a positive digit or not a single digit or both. Okay. Then enter. So everyone can see what I write. Regarding logical operator and, we said it is true. It will print out this statement, this sentence, if this condition is true. Okay. To this condition be true, num should be greater than 0 and num less than 10. Okay. This was how and work. For and to be true, both sides should be correct, should be true. Okay. If one side is true, the other side is wrong, therefore it's false, not true. Okay. Let's run it to see what will happen. Okay. My num is equal 4. Shift enter. This is a positive single digit. Okay. How about I want to put out like 12. Okay. As a still a number greater than 0, but is not less than 10. Let's see what will print this time. Okay, shift enter. It say this is either not a positive digit or not a single digit or both. Okay, nice. Let's give I said in this flow control, something that we use a lot is logical operators and comparison operators and this Boolean data type. Okay, Boolean data type is other things that we keep using in flow controls. Let's give another example of that one. Okay, I'm gonna give example about weather. Is rainy. Is rainy equal true? Okay, I'm creating my Boolean data type. Okay, I say is rainy, yes, true. Is cold equal, okay, I put a true, yes, this is also true. And let's give an example of or logical operator. Okay, if is rainy or is cold, colon, enter. We jump to the next line. Okay. I need to mention in if else statement or any flow controls, you do not have to put all the time that parentheses. Either you can put inside the parentheses or not. Okay, it's optional. Okay, here see I can write this in two ways. I said just if is rainy or is cold. I could put like this, equal true, to check the condition. Is rainy is true or not? Okay, I'm checking. Also, I can, when we have Boolean type, when we have this Boolean type, true and false, we don't have to use that comparison operators, okay? We can just put something like this. Print what? I'm gonna say, okay, whether is rainy or cold, okay? And else, I'm gonna write my else statement. Print Okay, whether neither rainy, okay, neither rainy nor cold. Okay, okay, both of them is true here. Okay, both of them is true. Let's run this one and see which statement will print it out. Okay, shift enter. Weather is rainy or cold. See, okay, I'm gonna say I'm gonna change this one to false and say it's cold. No, it's not cold. I'm gonna change this one to false and see um, how our statement change. Does it change or not? Shift enter. It didn't change because it is or. Or say if this one is true or the other one is true, as a still true. Therefore, print this part. Okay. It will jump to us and read this statement when both of them are false. False. I change is rainy also to false, and let's run it. Okay, weather neither rainy nor cold. Okay, this was about if else. We learned that nested if else. Okay, we learned for loop, but we didn't learn while loop. Okay, let's learn about while loop. What is while loop? While loop is similar to for. It is a loop that keeps iterating as long as condition is true. Okay, while loop exactly like for loop, checking a condition to see if that condition is true or false. Since that condition is true, this loop keeps iterating. Okay, but there is a difference between while and for. In for loop, we had something we call it count, something that keep increasing by each time that loop was running. Loop is running one time, count increases by one. Running for the second time, increasing by one, increasing by one. Okay, we had that one. But in while loop, we do not have that one. We call that count like I, X. We could call it whatever we want. Okay, let's give example about while loop. While. Okay, while is actually easy. While we have still a num, a variable which we want to check if our num is greater than 1 colon enter, do something like print num. Okay, print num. In for loop we have something like this. Let me give this num equal like what? Num equal 5. Let's give 5. Okay. Here I'm telling, okay, I have a variable num is equal 5. While num is greater than 1, keep printing num. What will happen here? So if we run this loop is correct. Now this is a while loop that we created. That's the all things that a while loop needed. While keyword, condition, and the statement that you want to do. You can put here a mathematical operator, operations, whatever that you want, okay? If you run this one, it's gonna give an infinite loop. What is infinite loop? I think next time we run it. So shift enter, see what happened. Okay, when I go down, it keep going. See here, it keep going, it keep running. It didn't stop yet. I'm gonna stop it from here, okay? I stop it from here, okay? So what happened here? Actually, this condition always and always is true. Therefore, it keep running, nothing stopped it, okay? Sometimes when we have this kind of situation, we need to stop it, okay? I'm gonna say num minus equal 1. I'm keep decreasing num by 1 each time that this loop keep running, okay? Let's see what will happen this time. Okay, let's run it again. Okay, it printed out 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, it came and checked like, okay, num here is 5 greater than 1. Okay, print it and decrease it by 1, which is 4. Come and check it. Now the value of num here is 4. 4 greater than 1. Okay, printed. Reduce 4 by 1. 3, come check it. 2, yes, it is greater. And then 1, no, 1 is not. This condition is not true anymore, and a stop. Okay. Okay, when we have something like this, I want to also show you something, two keyword that we all the time using, especially in loops. I have this condition, okay? I want to say, okay, I want to break it down. When I see 3, okay, let me give a bigger number here. I put my num equal 10 and see, okay, keep running and print num out when num is greater than 1, and each time reduce num with 1. I want to tell something to my program. Anytime you see, if num gets equal 5, break. Do not continue. Don't run the loop. Just jump out of the loop. Else, continue. Okay, I want to tell something to my loop. Okay, I'm writing if-else statement inside my loop. Okay, if num equal 5. Okay, colon, enter, break. Else, continue. Else, continue. Okay. What will happen here? Okay. If num equal, I'm telling my program, see how I use this if else inside the loop. You can use like loop inside the loop, a loop inside if else. You can use your if else inside the loop. You can write whatever statement that you want under any one of these flow controls, okay? This break is a keyword that anytime we use it, it breaks this statement and just jump out. Continue is just telling, okay, continue, keep going as you were doing, okay? Let's print everything out now. Shift enter. Okay. Our num was 10. It run, print 10, 9, reduce it by 1, 9, 8, 6, and 7, 6. And when it reached to 5, it just stopped. It break. It stopped. Okay? Okay, this was a good example to learn while loop. If you remember in for loop, we used a for loop to do odd, even numbers. Okay, let's create similar things that we did with for loop. Now we're going to do with while loop and see how different they are, okay? Okay, here I'm going to do that odd, even, by while. Let's create a list. I call it num list. Let's call it num list, okay? We have a num list which has some numbers from 1 to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Something like this, okay? Here I try to do my do you remember in list how we were accessing any one of values, items that we had inside a list by that index number? Do you remember when we wanted to print something? Okay, we said print like num list, something like this. Do you remember? So do you know now if I want to print this 3 out, what should I put inside this bracket? We're supposed to put a number inside the bracket to print out this 3, okay? We're supposed to put the index number belong to 3, which was 2, because our index number starts from 0. 0, 1, 2, 3. You remember this, okay? This was the way we could accessing our items inside the list. Okay, let's write our while loop. I'm gonna say while and num list items. Okay, items like, I would not put anything inside this one yet. Okay, it's like less than 1, less than 10. Okay, this is less than 10. Okay, the items if is less than 10, just put something, some condition. Okay, which I know it would be correct till end of my list. Okay, till end of my list, this condition will be correct. I want to go and check each items inside my list one by one. Num list less than 10, and what to do? Okay, if num list, if num list for checking if a number is even, we were dividing it by 2, and if remainder is 0, therefore that number is even. We're doing same thing here. Inside this one, to access each value, you're supposed to put a number, but inside that number, I just put I, okay? This I, if keep increasing or decreasing, will reach to each item that I have, okay? I will just put I. This I is my index number, okay? If num list I, that means if any one of these items divided by 2 and mod returns equal 0 colon, then print oh, I want to print the number that I have. Okay, num list I, print the number first, comma, I can say this is an even number, and then I guess, okay, something here. In while, I said we do not have something like count to keep increasing. Therefore, what we should do? We should do that, okay? We should add something that keep increasing, okay? Here, just think num list I is 0, okay? Just think I is 0. That means this one. This I should keep increasing one by one to reach these values, okay? Okay. I'm gonna say I plus equal 1. That means increase that I by 1, okay? Else print, else it is odd. If it's not like even, then it is odd, okay? Let's print number list I, print this number, and then tell this is an odd number, okay? And also here, see, if this one either gonna come and print this one, read this line, or this one. Therefore, I need to add that I plus equal 1 here too, okay? Let's run this one and see. Shift enter. We got an error. Name I is not defined, okay? It cannot recognize I. In for loop, it recognized I because it had that it had that I or count. Here we do not have it. Okay, I'm gonna create this variable, call it I, okay, before my loop. I equal 0. Our index started from 0, yeah? I equal 0, I create this one. See? Okay, let's run it again. Shift enter. It printed out. 1, this is an odd number. 2, this is an even number. 3 is odd, 4 is odd. Nicely, it keep like printing out all this. See how nicely it printed out all this one. And this was our while loop that I wanted to teach you. I think now you are really good with that flow controls. We learned about function. Yes, okay. I said, what is function? Function is a set of organized and reusable instructions that is used to perform some related action. Okay, something like that we did here. We can just put it inside a function. We can make it a function, okay? We didn't learn this one, okay. When we use a function, we have some keywords to use and create a function. That def, that is defining a function. Then we have return. We have a name that we give to our function, and we have also argument. But the way that we're passing our argument and calling that function is in 2 types. Passing by value, passing by reference, okay? Let's create a function here. I want to create exactly function of this odd even number. We create function, then we code really, really long, like 100, 1000 lines of code we have, okay? And we do not want to repeat. All the time, my user like keep entering a number and I want to check if it is odd or even. And each time I don't want to write whole this code, okay? I just want to call it. Defining, when Python see this def keyword, it understands we are defining a function, odd, even, okay? Parentheses. Inside the parentheses, what is inside the parentheses? Inside the parentheses actually is our argument, okay? Oops, this one. And let's copy paste this one here, whatever we created, okay? See, I'm copy pasting this one there. Okay, don't forget indenting. Here I just messed up with this indenting, okay? Why everything should be indented here. Okay, now it should be good. While I is less than 10, okay. While I is less than 10, okay. Now I'm jumping out of my, let's use also this return, okay. Return is a keyword that show, okay, we want to return our function, want to return some data back, okay. You can write anything from this return, but remember, Return is the last keyword inside the function. After this return, you cannot write anything inside your function, okay? Let's jump out. Now I want to call my my function, okay? Let's create a list. Call it my list, okay? I'm creating a list and say it's like different numbers. Let's put the different numbers. 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and 5, something like this. So how about 2? Okay. So about argument, look, when I want to call a function, I just write the name of the function that I gave it to it and passing my value, my argument, whatever I have, the data that I want to put inside my function. Okay, I'm gonna put this one, my list inside. And something here. So we put it num. This num should be exactly similar to variable that we used here. Okay, it should be exactly the same. I'm gonna copy this one and write a similar things to this one. Okay. And now try to run it. Okay, 3 is an odd number. Equal, okay, while. Oh, it just run it one time and then define. Okay. Let me write this. Why I change it here? Okay. List. Okay, something like this. Okay, to keep running all of them inside this loop. Yeah, it's just keeping one of that. When we pass it by list, actually it keeps changing the data, and we call that pass by reference. Okay, I'm gonna give this example now here to you that what happens when we passing by list. Okay, in this happens actually in Python. In other programming language that we do, for passing by reference, we put something next to that function. But here, most of the time when we use a list, okay? When we use a list inside a function, it changes the value inside the list permanently, okay? Let's give an example. I want to now here just pass a value. See here, I pass whole my list, okay? Here, I just want to pass one value to a function. Let's write a function and call that function just add function, okay? And I have a number. This number can be anything. And colon and num like plus, let's plus equal 5, and then print out the num or return. Okay, both of them is same. Return num. Okay, let's create num equal what? Let's do num equal 10. Okay, something like that. And let's run this one. Okay, let's call. I forgot to call our function. Okay, I'm gonna call and just pass. I will change the name to do not make that confusion. Okay, this is a different things, and this is the argument inside that should be that name with the other that we use inside the function should be same. Okay, I'm passing this a inside my add function a. Okay, see it printed out 15. It print out 15. Okay, now I want to. What happened here inside the function? inside the function, I added this a by 5, okay? But if I come and print a now, okay? Num inside the function get 15. But now if I call my a here and print my a, try to reach and access the value that I gave to a, let's shift and enter, is still 10. But when we're passing mostly by list, it changed the value of your list permanently, and it's not same as whatever you gave to your list, okay? Let's do exactly same thing for a list. Okay, okay, let's exactly write something for a list. And I'm passing, for example, I have this a is a list now. Let's give some numbers to it, like 1, 3, and 5, okay? I'm giving 3 numbers and change it to a list. And here, to access, if you remember, to access each element of my list, I should put this num and a number inside. The number is my index number, like num 1. I want it to be plus equal 5. Just let's add all them by 5, okay? And also the third one, num 2 plus equal 5. I added 5 to all them and then return num, okay? I come here, I will delete this one, okay? I'm adding this a that I had and call my function here, okay? I'm calling my function here. Let's run it and see what will we receive and what is the num. Okay, now my num, or this a, is 6, 8, 10. 5 added to all number. But now if I come and want to access to this a, this is a variable that I already created. If I want to here print my a, okay, I'm gonna say print is a. It's gonna print exactly same thing. Whatever changes that happen inside this function, okay? We call this passing by reference. Sometimes when you do this list, okay, any changes happen inside your function is permanently. Therefore, it changes this variable and values inside it permanently, and it's not similar to first you put it in anymore. And we learned this one. Okay. Last week we had mini project creating a calculator. Okay. There's some kind of things that I want to explain over there. Let's open a new notebook. Open. Okay. I create a simple code about that calculators and put it in Google Drive. All of you have access to this code, okay? This is a simple code that you can go back and look at it. Everyone thinks differently, therefore you code differently, okay? This is the way that I think. Here, to create my calculator, I use the function. I told you to use a function. I use this function. First I came, create a calculator function, which has 3 arguments. I passed 3 arguments into it. I use nested if-else inside my calculator function, then return whatever that I wanted to show to my user. After that, here, I came out of this function. Here, I try to ask my user to enter that num1, num2, and operators that he or she wants to do, okay? I put all this inside a while loop. I use the while loop. Because I use a while loop because I wanted to run this calculator as long as my user wants to use it. If my user wants to keep doing another operations, then this calculator should keep running. Therefore, I use while loop. And then I use this nested if else here to ask my user. To ask my user, do you want to do another calculation, yes or not? Okay, if it is Y, that means it's true. My user wants to keep going and using. If not, false. And break. When false is break, mean jump out and stop, okay? Else, you entered invalid data. So what if my user do not enter Y or N? What will happen? So I just wanted to give a message that you entered invalid data. Let's see how this calculator that I create work, okay? Let's run this one and say, please enter the first number. Okay, my first number can be 5, enter. Please enter the second number and 89. And I want to do addition. Plus, okay, enter. Okay, it printed out this one, which is correct. Do you want to do another calculation? I'm gonna say yes, okay. See, you keep seeing anytime this none keep printing out and showing up. I'm gonna show you a trick. If you don't want to see this none repeatedly, then you want to ask something from your user, okay? Each time that you use this input function, do not put print function inside. Just remove print function inside your input, okay? If you look at this example, this is a really good example. I put comment everywhere and explain it that what I did, okay? You can just use input like this without any print function inside it. Input operator, okay. Okay, let's run this one again. What happened? It stopped running. It doesn't run again. Okay. Nope. Okay. It stopped totally running. Okay. Yeah, it works now. See, we do not see that none anymore here. Okay. I'm gonna write like 8. Enter. Second number can be like 19.4, something like that. And then I want to do a minus. Enter. Okay. Do you want to do another calculation? If I say no, it's gonna come out. What if I write something else? I do not write Y or N. I type it S inside. Okay, it's gonna give like this error message to me. You entered invalid data, which I created, okay? To handle this kind of problem in programming, we have many things in programming languages, okay? I'm gonna show you the most simple one that you can use it anytime to handle this kind of problem when that coding or error is not from you, it's from your user, okay? This example all of you have access to this example in Google Drive. It's really good, simple code that you can go and just read all these comments that I explain what I did and why I wrote something like that in each line. Okay, I'm gonna close this one and go back to where, okay, go left here. Okay. Handling errors. Okay. We learned this one. Okay. Handling errors. First thing about errors in Python or in all coding languages. When we got an error and that mistake is from our code, we write our code, like we have mistake to write our code or something, and we got an error message. First, we read error message, okay? And then we refer to the line where we have that errors. After that, we try to change it and understand what this error message telling us and keep changing, keep editing to figure it out. If you couldn't, just Google it. Just Google the error message that you have, okay? But sometimes, like that example code that I showed you, sometimes is not your problem. You shouldn't have, firstly, like mistake errors in your code. Sometimes you ask your user to enter a number, to enter a string, but your user just enter wrong data. What you can do, you can use that if-else statement to tell your user that this is wrong. You shouldn't enter something like this. And also, you can use try except in a statement. When you get a coder, you can use GUI. GUI is a graphical user interface, which coders use that, but we would not go to that level, okay? GUI is something that preventing your user enter a string to place that's supposed to enter an integer. Let's learn how we can use this try except a statement, okay? I want to do a code, okay? Exactly, I want to give same example that I put it there for you, okay? I want to checking, I have a few lines of code and I want to check if there is any mistake in it or not. I'm gonna involve my user, okay? I'm gonna ask my user to enter what? Enter a number or something. Enter a number. And I'm gonna create another variable, integer, and ask my user to enter another number. And I want to divide this number, num1 divided by num2. Then I want to print my result, okay? What will happen if we want to print out this one? Let's run it and see what will happen here. Okay, enter a number, I'm gonna enter 3. Enter another number, okay, I'm entering 5. We got error message, name num1 is not defined. Anytime you get an error message, there is a keyboard at the top, name error, okay? See this one? This is the name of the error type that we had here. This is what we're using in try except a statement to handle our error, okay? Try except a statement are able to recognize the kind of error that we have. What we do, we put our code and whatever we want to test it for this try except a statement and errors, we put it instead try inside this try statement, okay? Indent this one, and then I put this except. We can just write something like this, except, and that's it. Okay. Okay. If we run this one, it's gonna say, okay, we didn't actually add like a statement that we want. Okay, we can tell our user here when we have this one, print, and telling our user that what? There is an error, but I don't know the kind of that error. Okay, let's run this one. Enter a number like 4. Enter another number 5, and then there is an error. It didn't go ahead, so it just read this line and it did not go further because there was an error, but it didn't tell me what kind of error. So we can put that keyword of errors type here next to except. Okay, what was that? That was like name error. Okay, so we can add this except line as much as we want for any kind of error that we have. If even we handle this one, okay, I'm coming and fixing this one. Okay, I'm fixing this one. Now it's fixed. Okay, let's run it. 4, 6. Okay. Type error. Except number, result, none. Okay, unsupported operator types. Okay, okay. What is this error now? See, even we can have this except type of error. Okay, I'm gonna add it here. See, except type error. See, it can recognize what kind of error it is, and I'm gonna say there is type error. Okay, what is this type error tell me? It's telling me that I did not put it as an integer or float. It's still as a string, whatever my user enter. Okay, I'm gonna change it to integer. But let's keep this one and see if this program can just identify it. Okay, can just identify it and oops, what happened? Sometimes this Jupyter just stop working. Okay, I'm gonna say there is a type error and see if it can recognize what kind of error we have here. I fixed this one. Okay, let's run it. 4 and then 5. Okay. We have also type error, we have name error, and it said name print is okay. Print. I have problem here. Okay. 4, 6. There is a type error. See, it printed out and telling me there is a type error because this one is still is a string, is not integer. Okay, I'm fixing this one also. See how this try except can help us to handle this kind of problem. Okay, now let's run it. I'm entering 4 and I want to enter 0. Let's see what happened. Okay, we got another error. This error problem is whatever user entered. Okay, this time user entered a 0, but say 0 division error. What is that error? That means we divide this number by a 0. That's a kind of error. Okay, I'm gonna create another except and put put exactly whatever we have here, see? And then total print and tell our user division by 0, something like that. Okay, and now keep running. Okay, I'm entering 4, I'm entering 7, and okay, this is correct. It printed out my result. Let's run it another time. Okay, I'm gonna tell 5, and this time I'm gonna enter 0. Okay, division by 0. See, it printed out this message for me. It can handle, at least tell my user. It would not prevent my user to enter, like to enter a wrong input, but it can give that error and recognize what type of error is that and give that out to my user. Okay, this was type except maybe you would not use this part that much. And it's almost okay, it's almost 4. I will stop sharing, and I want to tell you that we are almost done. We are almost done with Python syntax. Next week, or actually this week, we will finish all Python syntax, and after that we will go to some libraries to learn libraries and start doing our data visualization. Okay, thank you everyone. If you have any question, please ask me also about the project that we have. Otherwise, see you Thursday.